v.h.s.x? What do you mean?
All right, everybody, welcome back to yet another coaching and gameplay review video for you guys that are learning how to play killer. And this was actually submitted by one of you guys in the Discord server, so shout out to Vivian for submitting this so that we can help other people learn how to play killer, understanding fundamentals, pathing, all that other stuff. Very important. And this will be added to the killer course sort of playlist. So if you are curious on learning more things about that, if you're watching this, any of you guys, feel free to check that out. It has all the videos that cover different gameplays that you guys have submitted, so you guys can essentially learn from one another on certain things, obviously, and as well as the input that I'm giving as well. So let's go ahead and get into it. So we're spawning in on Midwich. All right, so this should hopefully help. I think everything should be working fine now. Shouldn't have any distractions now. Let's go ahead and actually analyze what's going on here. But we put a drone down there, that's fine. Undetectable activating is a good thing. So we hear a gen going off over there as well. Over here. Good hit off the bat. And dropping another drone down. Yeah, pretty much what we expect from a skull merchant. Yep, that's what you pretty much have to do, because he doesn't have anything else, so it's like you pretty much just want to do that. All right, pretty good down. Pretty good down. Now my concern obviously is a bit of the build, because it really does not offer a lot for skull merchant in a sense. Okay, so I see what's happening. So like the add-on, I guess one of the add-ons means that you can't actually go undetectable like naturally, which is interesting. Which is going to be able to kind of throw off some of your things there. Now, honestly, that's quite surprising that there actually was value from friends at the end there. I think that surprisingly that worked out. I mean, I gotta say, I was fully expecting them to just try to run away, but or it wouldn't even be in the position. I don't know how to really respond to that. Okay, good hit there. I mean, hey, standard stuff. You already know that. Okay, so if you retrieve it, you get the undetectable, which is quite strange. Oh, it didn't. Oh, okay, it actually did scan there. I thought it wouldn't, surprisingly. Okay. So far, so good. I mean, nothing really to say there, at least. Yeah, I mean, there's not really anything, there's not any mistakes yet. I will say, overcharge value, of course. This is smart to do because you actually have a perk that allows for kicking. So it makes sense to actually be able to kick things with your perk. Especially if you know that they're not nearby. Smart move here, going straight for the hit first instead of the gen. Very smart. Definitely want to do that. Getting rid of this wall, also a good choice. You want to do that. So that was a bit of a strange interaction there. I wasn't sure what this was. Let me look at that again. Hold on. Like, well, maybe it was like a finger slip or something. Maybe that was like a bit of a finger slip. I don't think that was intentional. It didn't look intentional. Maybe like, because it is on a controller, so it probably like slipped or something. But yeah, I mean, pretty standard stuff. I mean, I'm not really seeing any mistakes here, really. Not like maybe later on, but so far pretty standard. Like nothing too crazy. Good hit. Yep. Good work. Oh, okay, she tried to fake the vault there. I think she kind of got stuck on the hook though. She did try to fake the vault there. Yeah, surprisingly pretty good pressure. Midwich is definitely allowing for some of these perks to actually do quite well, which is interesting. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That is pretty much like Skull Merchant, I would say. Like, unfortunately, because of the way that their power works, the way that her power works, it just doesn't have a lot of like unique interactions to do. Unless you start specializing in like drone rotations, like with the scans and things like that. But that's only applicable in tiles or other things like that. So for the most part, Skull Merchant is usually spent a little bit early there. Hold on a moment. Right about here, I think you got a little bit excited, which I get it. You know what I mean? But by the time she's turning this corner, it's a little too far out. You want to be about a smidge closer. What I want to say is like I'm gonna try to pause it at the right time. Here. If she was like at the edge, like I don't know if you can see my cursor, but if you had, or my mouse rather, but right here where my mouse is, if she was here, like right here, and then turning, you might have been able to get that. But she was already like, due to momentum, she's already at this edge, already going that way. So she's, by the time you even start lunging and start like building up your speed to turn, she's already going to be like halfway up over there, about here by the time you do that. So you just got to be a little bit more patient with your M1s, it seems like. Because as you can see, like with like as the swing misses, you can see how far she even made it because of that. She was already at the position you're at. She's already making it around again. So with that being said, just gotta be a little more patient. Because notice right here, like right as you did the follow-up swing, notice how like what I just demonstrated, the distance was exactly correct. Because notice, look at this right here. Remember what I said earlier when if she was like stuck around here and it had to turn? This is what I'm talking about. Because like because of the momentum that you're moving forward and she actually stops for a second, I think she like hesitated. That offered you, because you kept moving forward, you then have more momentum and more distance made compared to her who has to rebuild speed back up again to turn back around. As you can see. So then you make the lunge from that because of the fact that she did hesitate there. So overall, like that's what you want to do in that situation. So it seems like they're healing under hook, which is quite strange, but overall, like, you definitely just want to continue to follow through there. Got the hit on them as well. Pretty much standard. Smart move to go after them as well, of course, because you want them to be eliminated as soon as possible in that situation, so that makes sense. Now, I'm not sure, like, I could have sworn pallets were supposed to spawn in some of these areas, so I'm kind of like, I'm not sure if that's new. Like, I was hearing that recently, that they're supposed to... that some of the spawns are not there. Okay, the angle of the... I will criticize the angle of the Mori a little bit. Unless you like that Skull Merchant just kind of like phase through the wall, then that's your own preference. But I would have put her in the center of the room so it looks more scary. But anyway, we're not here. This is not a film class. This is a match review class. So anyway, all right. So picking up the drones, yeah. I mean, yeah. Unfortunately, like I've said, I was about to say earlier, like unfortunately because of the Skull Merchant's like changes and everything, there really isn't a lot you can like do with her ability now because of just that. Hopefully she does receive a rework that offers a little bit more expression, because a lot of it is literally just place drone and keep going, which is like unfortunate. Like it'd be nice that if she had more to the kit. And she technically does, but I just think it's like so minute with how much you get out of it unless dedicating the amount of hours. Okay, so there was a big mistake here. There was a massive mistake here. You notice, you hear them on the gen, so you know that they're there. They vault through the window. Fine. You see them going to the left, and then you hard committed here. You hard committed, and then she, like, you completely, like, here's the part where you really messed up. I'm gonna show you right. I'm gonna try to pause it. You really messed up about everything up to this point was fine. You walk up, boom, you got it. Right about here is where you fucked up, right? Because you saw, like, you didn't even see her going to the pallet. She's not there. So in your mind, you got to be like, bam, she's double backing. Got to look back on the right side. But instead, you decided to push all the way through the side. What does that mean, right? She's like, oh, okay, free vault, and then flies right back over there. Now you just lost, like, what is that, like 10 meters a distance and a vault. So now you have to go turning back around and then through, and then she's going to make it to something else. You wanted to be able to, like, fly back in and try to catch her on a double back to try to reduce as much distance as possible. Because keep in mind, you're playing an M1 killer, so every like bit of pathing, distance is going to be so important for you. You're going to need that more than anything. I do get the hit here, obviously, because she made a massive mistake. But she probably could have extended the chase further if she decided to stay on that window and try to use it and then go back to that pallet. But she didn't do that, so that's what caused her to make a mistake. But say that she did do what I had said, you would have lost a lot more time. Now let's see what we do here. Okay, not bad. Drone, okay. See what we do with it. All right, you got a little bit of haste. Oh, we break? No, that's not what we do here. Because wait a minute, you have 5% haste, and I'm pretty sure she gets hindered. So we don't break. We don't do that. We use the haste to go around again. You know what I mean? Because if we break, now she's gonna chain to 3 different pallet locations. She has the one in the back of the class, one up the ramp, which has 2, and then from there behind that one is a 3rd one. So when you're playing a character like this that doesn't have any chase powers, really, you want to try to keep them contained in one spot. You want to keep them into one loop, because if you don't, just like this example right here, she chains to next 3, 4, 5 pallets. Say to people who are rushing to gens, you're losing even more gens. So you don't want to do that. You want to keep chases quick. So if you end up breaking here, which she decided to stay, which I don't know why she did that. If she ran a couple seconds sooner, she would have already made the next pallet, if not held W somewhere else. And as you can see, look, boom, already a brand new pallet to work with. So you're taking up even more time. And sure, you break it here, but say that she was smart enough to hold W and go somewhere else, or even mind gamed it, right? Or something of that nature. Or if even better yet, she held even more W or had another perk active or something. We don't know, right? We don't know. Right? Now, you got lucky with the lunge there, but that's not always guaranteed, believe it or not. You can indeed fall into the hole there and just end up getting hold, and then she'll run off somewhere else. Now this Mori angle needs work, all right? That part's cool at the end, though. But yeah, make you like, I noticed that, like, with a lot of people that are trying to pick up the game, as well as just in general, that a lot of people may be a little bit too trigger happy with breaking pallets. A lot of the time, you're better off leaving it up so that you can actually focus on the chase itself and getting the down. Because, and as you can see, you lost 2 gens from that chase. You would have been able to probably down her a lot sooner if you had just used the haste you had. You had 5% additional haste. And I'm assuming if she is hindered, if that's how the power works, you would have probably made a lot more distance. Now, surprisingly enough, like, overcharge is working here. Which is pretty good. You get info. You also get a little bit of regression that doesn't actually have anything to do with the gen kick limit. Smart move, of course, focusing on the M1 first. That's always what you want to do. Gens are usually second priority to getting the down, obviously. 9 times out of 10 usually. So here, all right, let's see how we play this. Oh wow, okay. That works. And I almost expected it for it to like somehow whiff or something, because I've had that happen before. But the momentum was held, so that was good. Okay, so last person's up, and then we have the, it seems like this add-ons or in particular kind of give like a very strange effect where like if you recall the drone, you actually get your undetectable, which is strange, I got to say, as an add-on, and just in general, like I really don't know how much benefit you really get from that. I mean, because you know, if you place it the drone down and you get undetectable versus recalling it, I don't know, like I don't know, I've never experimented with that. I don't know if that's how that works, of course, for all I know, you know what I mean. I will say the hatch never spawns here, by the way, at least from my understanding. I think I've played on this map enough to know if you're going to be looking for hatch, you want to go through the hallways in a square, because they're always just either in a classroom or they're in the hallway. The hatch never spawns over here, from what I can understand. At least I've personally never seen it spawn here. Like that is just, if it did, I'm like, hey, maybe that's new, because I've tried to go to this map as much as I could when I played this game, back when the map offerings were a thing. So we might be able to catch him here theoretically, assuming that the hatch doesn't spawn there. Now I wouldn't go through here either, because by the time you turn here and then go back out, Renato's already flying out. You can already tell, because look at his pathing right about here. Look at where he's headed. He's like, I'm gonna go around this big meat pile and fly over to around the corner and make hatch. You went inside here assuming that he was gonna stay there. Why would he stay there? He wants to get to hatch, right? Think about it. Look, you went all of that. He faked it so that you would lose distance there. So now he makes the hatch. Not to say that you would have caught up in you know, blah blah blah, like whatever, but like that's just like a little example of like how the pathing is extremely key. So let's just quickly go over some takeaways, of course, just to quickly summarize it for the end. Pathing, you want to improve with that, of course. And that obviously is like you know, hugging the tiles a little bit better. And being able to try to like kind of be able to predict and cut off angles and stuff like that, which is just comes with time and game sense, of course. And then obviously that like partially to that is obviously the melees. You would definitely want to because you're going to be improving on pathing by like trying to hug tiles a little bit better. You'll be able to definitely get your M1s. Of course, it's all timing as well. Like even like at the end here with the Renato, you saw that he kind of like went in to the side there. So like, oh, I'm going to go over there and like go inside and then try to get him. But it's like, you are taking the bait, but you're not thinking about like what they're trying to do. Like, what is the reason that they're doing X, Y, and Z is what I say is the most important thing when you're facing teams and stuff like that, is understanding understanding like the reason why they're doing a certain thing, basically. But hopefully that is helpful enough. I feel like we were on a really long yap sesh for some reason. But hopefully that's really helpful. And for anybody who else is watching this, check out the other course videos that you may be able to learn a thing or two. And yeah, appreciate you guys watching.